Before you move to southern Utah, there are a few things that people wish they knew sooner, especially if you're looking at Cedar City. Hi, I'm Hayden Zobel. I'm a local realtor here in Cedar City, Utah, and I get clients all the time asking me, what do we need to know before moving to Cedar City? At least those clients who are coming from out of town. And so here are 10 things that I would tell anyone who has not lived in Cedar City what they need to know before they decide to move here. The first thing I would tell them is about the weather. Cedar City sits at 5,800 feet in the air, which means that we have winters, and the winters are cold, there is snow, and if you haven't lived in the snow before, you need to be prepared for them. When it comes to snow, the snow usually starts November or December, and it can last until even into April and sometimes even into May. One of the hardest things about snow is learning how to drive in it. It can be very slippery, it can be very icy, and so either you need a car with four-wheel drive or you need snow tires. These are non-negotiable. They are there for your safety, and I would recommend it 100%. On the other hand, the spring and the fall have more medium temperatures that are a lot more bearable, but the best thing about those seasons is the beauty that it brings to southern Utah. In spring, there's a lot of growth, the flowers and the trees are blooming. In the fall, the leaves are starting to change colors, bringing red, yellow, and orange. Summers are usually very hot, but they're not as hot as St. George or other places. So while winter can be really hard and cold, the other seasons make up for it. The second thing you need to know is Cedar City has a very small town feel to it. With a population of 45,000, give or take, you're going to see people that you know at the grocery store, without a doubt, but there's enough people that you're going to meet new people if you want to. Now, even though it is a small town, there is a lot of growth happening. New subdivisions, university expansions, and even bigger retailers coming into town. So even though you have the small town feel with a lot of neighborhood feels, you get the normal, comfortable living. The third thing that is important to know is, what is the job market like? When it comes to the job market in Cedar City, there's not a lot of big corporate jobs. There's not a lot of big corporate companies. Cedar City mostly has a lot of educational teachers, a lot of healthcare providers, a lot of construction workers and trades. And so with those things, you have a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of small businesses, from restaurants to lenders, even to real estate agents like me. Now, the corporate market isn't very big, but I think that people who can work remotely do very well here in Cedar City. You don't have the hassle of living in a big city where there's a lot of traffic and a lot of competition. If you have a good paying job that you can work remotely, I think Cedar City is a great place to live. And so even though there aren't as many widespread jobs that are available, you can still find a great job and live a very comfortable life. Number 4, and a very big part, or a very big reason people move to southern Utah, is because of the outdoor lifestyle. There are at least five large national parks within a day's drive of Cedar City, Utah. And so hiking, biking, fishing, skiing, and camping are within minutes of where you live. The nearest ones to Cedar City are Cedar Breaks, Bryan Head, Sand Hollow, Zion, and Kolob. Those are all national parks with different variety of outdoor activities that you can be involved in. So if you love the outdoors and you like doing those things, Cedar City is perfect. If you're kind of against going on doing those things, there's going to be less things for you to be able to do. Number 5, a big topic that is talked about a lot these days all across the United States is the cost of living. How much does it cost to live in Cedar City? Now, I don't have an exact number for you, but living in a small town like Cedar, you're going to have a lot cheaper groceries, gas, and living expenses such as a mortgage. But with that, it's important to know that housing prices here are still expensive. The average home price is still in between $400,000 and $500,000. With that, your utility costs can differ especially because of the different weather that we get throughout the year. It's going to be different in the summer compared to the winter. But the great thing is that living here is still going to be cheaper than the majority of big Western living areas. 6. If your dream is to move to Cedar City and build on a piece of land outside of the town, maybe 10 to 15 minutes away, water rights matter more than people usually realize. Most people don't understand what water rights actually do, and if you're building a home where the natural water system of the city isn't available to you, then you're going to have to drill a well. If you're going to drill a well, you need to have a water right to associate with that well. Along with that, if you do not have a well, that also probably means that you do not have sewer. So if you do not have sewer, you're going to have a septic tank installed. And with those two major things in mind to be installed, you're looking anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 extra just to get your lot ready to build on. But things like building permits are not impossible to get. They're quite easily to get here in Cedar, but if you do not have those things installed before, you're going to have a hard time. If you're just looking to build on a lot that's near to town, building permits are easy to get and you should have no problem doing that. Number 7, and as I've talked about before, Cedar is a small town, so the community culture is very, very strong here. Most of the people have strong values when it comes to family and community involvement. If you're one who is not wanting to get to know your neighbors or say hi to them in the morning, then you might be annoyed with your neighbors, because they're definitely going to do it. Faith and religion is a huge part of people's lives here. The biggest denomination or belief here in Cedar City is Christianity, specifically the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So just be aware, if you move to Cedar City, your neighbors are most likely going to be members of this denomination. Not all of them, but definitely some of them. Besides that, there are 2 big high schools and 1 college that are in Cedar City. So sports and events bring people together. You see your friends there, you see your family there, and it really brings the communities together. So if you're the kind of person who wants to get to know your neighbors or is not afraid to get to know your neighbors and your community, I think Cedar City is a great place to live. Number 8, the pace of life here in Cedar City is slower than I would say just about anywhere. If you're coming from a big city and you're used to a lot of nightlife and a lot of big events that bring out a lot of people, like concerts, Cedar City does not have those things. It comes with less traffic, fewer crowds, and less stress for most people. With that, businesses, restaurants, they probably will close earlier than you're used to. But if you're from a smaller town, Cedar City won't be any different than, I would say, the towns that you have recently lived in. In my opinion, I think Cedar is great for raising your children. There's not a lot of crime, there's not a lot of danger, and it's even great if you're just wanting to reset and kind of relax. But like I said, if you're more of a nightlife type of person, or if you want things to happen right away that are fun and exciting, it's probably not in your best interest to move to Cedar. Number 9, we're going to talk about driving distances. This is not necessarily driving within town. This is talking about how far are you away from big cities. The nearest big city with a big airport is going to be Las Vegas, Nevada, which is about a 2.5 to 3 hour drive from Cedar, depending on traffic and if you go the speed limit or not. If you're going north, Salt Lake City, the capital of Utah, is going to be the closest big airport and big city, and that's about 3.5 to 4 hours away. Now, with both of those places being within 3 to 4 hours of driving, day trips are common. You can go up and back in a day. It's going to be a lot of driving, but it is possible. So if you don't mind a little bit of driving to go to the big cities, Cedar's perfect. It's kind of in the middle. If you're wanting to go to the big cities more often, you might want to move maybe closer to St. George, or maybe more up north towards Provo to be closer to those big cities. In conclusion, I think that there are people who thrive here because of their lifestyle, and on the other hand, people don't thrive here, again, because of their lifestyle. The people I think that thrive the most are going to be families, young and older, outdoor lovers, people who want to go out into the outdoors and hike and ski and fish. I think remote workers are great for Cedar. It's a lot more chilled and laid back, but you still get the same paycheck as if you were in a big city. And lastly, I think people who want peace and a sense of belonging and community do great here. Now, I would say that the people who struggle here are going to be nightlife seekers, people who want to go out every night, maybe go to bars or go to concerts. You're not going to really find that. Along with that, big city career climbers. Like I said, Cedar City is not a big corporate town. Also, people who dislike cold or snow are not going to like it here, at least in the winters. I think in the other seasons you will love it, but for the 4 to 5 months winter and the coldest here, you'll be pretty miserable. And anyone expecting instant convenience. In conclusion, Southern Utah and Cedar City specifically is incredible if it fits your type of lifestyle. If you're considering moving here, knowing these things upfront can make all the difference. For myself personally, I have lived here my whole life. My parents grew up here as well. I think it's a great place for me and my family to start and to grow up. I think it's great for small businesses. I plan to live here the majority of my life, I would hope. And I think that if the lifestyle you're seeking for is the things that we've talked about and they are attractive to you, Cedar City, you can't get much better. If you enjoyed this video or want to know more about Cedar City and the surrounding area, feel free to click subscribe and hit the notification bell. We release weekly videos talking about what's happening here in Cedar City and the things that you need to know to be up to date on what's going on. If you have any suggestions or things that you want to learn about, drop them in the comment section below and we'll make a video towards it. But thank you so much for watching. We appreciate your time and have a great day. We'll see you next time.